Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning everybody, I'm Pedro, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
This is the glowy show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today, this lovely morning. We are hanging out here in Central Florida. We want to welcome everybody in the Discord chat room. Welcome to the show. We got some fun Raspberry Pi related projects that we're excited to share, and we are well caffeinated. I'm on 3 cups of coffee. Pedro's on his 5th.
I lost count.
Maybe his 6th.
No, not that many.
He's rocking his fancy mug, Ratatouille mug.
With a little rat on it.
With a rat.
Good morning, good
Rat
afternoon, good evening, and night
Good
to
night.
everybody hanging around all over the world.
Yes,
We're chilling
special shout
on-
outs to folks in the Discord chat room. We have Liz hanging out, Blitz City DIY. We have Cup of Coffee, Dan Mitchell, Do Wester.
We're also hanging out on the YouTube chats on Facebook. Oh, it's trying to go live.
Oh no.
Shoutouts to NVA Soda SA 2022.
2022.
We're also hanging out in the Twitch chat room as well,
Yeah.
on Periscope and on LinkedIn.
Wow, we're in all the places. Very fun. Well, we'll run through the morning housekeeping. Keep the house going. Why paying some bills? So let's head on over to adafruit.com/free. We fair? We're good? Tweets are all sunk up? All right. So we got some freebies going on. These get automatically added to your cart as you add things to your cart. If your cart is $99 or more, you're going to get a free half-size Permaproto breadboard PCB. If your order is $149 or more, you'll get that half-size Permaproto plus an Adafruit KB2040. That's that keyboard driver. That's Arduino Nano format. And if you spend $200 or more in your cart, you'll get that KB2040, the half-size Permaproto plus free ground shipping from UPS for continental US only. And if you have a massive order of $299 or more, you get the free UPS ground shipping, you get the KB2040, the half-size Permaproto, and the Adafruit Circuit Playground Express. All of these products get added to your cart automatically. You don't need an account or any of that stuff. It just kind of happens automatically, and that's really fun. Of course, we have special discount codes tonight on Ask an Engineer. So if you want to save your cart for that, you can tune in on Ask an Engineer tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Next up, we're going to check out the jobs board. If you are in the market for a gig that's maker DIY electronics related, you can check out jobs.adafruit.com. Check out the latest listings. You can create your account for free, and you can post up a gig for free. So check those out if you are looking to gig it up. Super awesome week this week. We have Circuit Python Day on Friday, August 19th, 2020. That's it, Circuit Python Day. We have lots of fun things planned. There's some live streams basically going on throughout the day. And if you go to the blog at adafruit.com, you can find the blog there. I think it's in this hero thing. It'd be funny if it wasn't. It's not. Sorry, there will be a blog post that's featured. We forgot to click the checkbox. It says feature this. I'm scrolling.
I'm searching.
I'm scrolling. Come on. Circuit Python Day. Here it is.
This should be a banner.
This should be a hero thing.
This should also be a banner on the top of the
There was
site.
supposed to be a whole schedule. There's the schedule. I promise you that we know what we're doing. Here it is. Here's the schedule. I clicked on the link that Ann posted. This one should be featured. We'll work on it. We have time. We have plenty of time. So we got a big schedule. Check out the list. Special thanks to everybody who's helping put this together. Paul Cutler is going to be doing a fun kind of live stream. I'm just scrolling through. Liz is going to do a special edition show and tell. I'll be there. And then we have a CircuitPython Day chat with Kattni, Jeff, and Dan. Oh man, there's so much stuff. Foamy Guy's doing a game jam stream. That was amazing. So check out the blog and just search for CircuitPython Day 2022, and you'll find this thing.
Looks like it's about every hour there will be an event.
Yeah, it's a big. This is our biggest CircuitPython Day. We haven't had this many live streams, so back to back all day. We get the day off, don't we? We have like a day off, but I'll be here, so be chilling out. Okay, next up, newsletter time. If you go to adafruit.com/newsletter, you can get subscribed to the product focused newsletter. Stuff get added to the Adafruit shop on the weekly, and the newsletter will keep you updated on that in your inbox. If you want daily stuff in your inbox, you go to adafruitdaily.com and subscribe to the many categories such as Python on hardware, Python on microcontrollers. Sorry, that's the official name to get it right. Thanks to everybody who subscribed to that. This is a great opportunity for folks in the community to share their Python related work. So you can hit up Amberella or any the CS team at adafruit.com to submit your stories and links. Give a shout out to Paul Cutler for doing the CircuitPython Show podcast, jumping in every week, listening into folks that are doing some awesome things with CircuitPython. And that is this morning's housekeeping. All cleaned and swept up. All the bills have been paid. Thank you.
Lots of stuff going on later in the week. Let's go ahead and jump into this week's pretty cool project.
What's this week's project?
This week's project is this DIY Pi 400 case. So Lamar saw this really cool Kickstarter for a DIY, or actually no, it's just a case for any single board computer. And what was cool is that Kickstarter is using the exact same keyboard that we stock in the store. She was like, we could just build one of our own. Instead of spending like $150 for a whole little case design that they got going on, you can just build one for, I don't know, a couple cents in terms of filament for this, and just house your own Raspberry Pi shaped. Gotta make sure we say that again, Raspberry Pi shaped. So any of like the orange pies, this is a Asus Tinker board.
Yeah, shout out to Liz for sending this over to us. We were on the waiting list for a while to get these, but if you got yourself a Tinker board or a pie-shaped single board computer that can run Linux, this is a great project for those boards. It's of course inspired by the infamous Pi 400. It kind of takes a step back into the retro times when you had a keyboard built into when you had the computer built into the keyboard. The Pi 400 was a kind of a look at that, and it used a different layout. It's kind of customized for having ports on the back, but you're able to figure out a good orientation for the single board computer and have the ports laid out in a way where you can kind of access just about all the pieces you need. So this is a really good kind of look at like, hey, what can I do with a large format 3D printer? Well, you can start printing big things, not just helmets, but how about enclosures for big things like a keyboard, an all-in-one computer. So you used up pretty much the whole bed space here, so you can print it in one piece, which is really awesome. And then you're using snap fits for the bottom cover and the framing of it. And when you kind of design your own enclosure, you have full control over all the ports, the position of everything, and how much room you want in there. So you got plenty of room in there. You got a little fan for airflow, a little bit of ventilation, and with all that space, you can kind of coil up those longer wires, so you don't have to like trim them or anything. You can hide things in there if you want, maybe a battery pack or some Cheetos or some snacks. You could always store stuff in there.
You can make it completely portable by adding a couple batteries inside there. It should run for a couple hours if you are on the go. That's actually one of the features of the Kickstarter. It has a battery in there.
Okay.
And we've seen that with a couple of like those little portable PCs that have a battery.
That battery is actually a 3 amp 5-volt battery, so this one would work. We use this in our. We use that in our Pi cube, our RGB matrix cube. We used one of these batteries. These are really nice. They have 3 amps, 5 volts, which is great for these kind of bigger, faster single board computers.
So the keyboard goes right on top. You have your trackpad that's on there, so you don't have a separate mouse to deal with. And then we're using one of our tempoling one of our past projects. You made this one. This is a completely portable HDMI monitor, so we can have just one wire going into the Pi, and then one for power. So it makes a nice little tidy little computer setup, perfect for streaming, as you can see here. Chromium does a really good job. Or actually, no, this is, was it Viva? The web player.
Yeah, this is
does a really good job.
Tinker OS or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out to Liz for building or burning us this OS. I've not played with this, and it's just pretty fully featured. You have like Open Libre for like document editing, of course, all the web stuff you can use on there, and YouTube plays really good on here.
This is great if you're you want to do like an Octoprint rig for your 3D printer, or you want to have some software for your CNC or laser cutter. This is a great little kind of rig for those type of things.
So this one doesn't have a built-in speaker, so that's one of the things I didn't get to. I wanted to have a speaker on the inside here,
do that.
But we do have monitors in the guide that you can check out. You'll probably show it off later today. That has the built-in speaker, so the HDMI would carry the audio to it.
Yeah, something like this guy here. This is our 7-inch display. It's an HDMI monitor with several switches and features like a built-in speaker, which is really nice. So audio goes over the HDMI, so you get really easy audio and video coming out of the HDMI.
And if for some reason you need VGA, you're doing like a projector or something. Or S-video, composite.
Or a flash drive to do media.
Play,
yeah, it's pretty fully featured display.
So definitely recommend these. We have these listed in the shop, and they are in stock.
Yeah, they're
nice
great.
Little high resolution.
We use this a lot for our Pi projects.
Not battery powered. That's why I'm using this one, just to show a nice, clean, tidy
little monitor.
For this.
Yeah.
So I do link to the guide on how to build one of these.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. It's just this nice, simplified case for your Raspberry Pi shaped
designed
boards.
around this keyboard, so this is a really nice keyboard to have. You already went over why it's a good one. You can do right click, left clicks.
You got your
all with a
ventilation.
built-in trackpad. Yeah, you have access to the SD card here, which is really nice.
Yeah,
You didn't need an extender or anything. That's really nice.
I was watching their Kickstarter, and I think that's one of the things I didn't have access to, their SD cards. I wanted to make sure that you could on that. Lovely little mistake with the dual tone printing here. I ran out of this Protopasta, I don't know what the name of this, double espresso shot filament. So I kept it going with this other wood filament that Protopasta has. So it just makes it look like sort of, I don't know what it's called, live edge or whatever, like the tables have like dark in the light.
It looks like there's more pieces than it really is.
Oh yeah, this is just one piece.
Right, which is cool.
And just real quick, what the lid looks like, you have some little snap holes here where the little
bumps.
What are they called?
I
The
call them
45-degree little things snap into.
They're bumps.
And then you have space for your Pi and your fan in there. So you can add a little bit more, like we were saying, for the battery and all that. You got space for that. And the clearance on this, if you have heat sinks on it, it's not going to touch the metal part of the keyboard. The heatsink down here is actually shorter than what the USB ports on there, so you should be safe with that. And nice little compact computer. It's pretty cool for education and just streaming in like a media server or something.
Yeah.
So let's go quickly into the guide. It's just basically an overview and a link for all of the STLs and of course the Fusion 360 file if you want to edit any of the geometry here. Right on the overview page, you can see all of the, features of it. And most importantly for us, where to get all these lovely little parts like the feet, the 5 volt 3 amp power supply, your little 5 volt fan, the slim HDMI cables. These are so good. Like the size and the length of them are perfect for this type of project. And if you need any adapters for that, since the Pi likes to use the little mini HDMI jack.
Yeah, it depends on which single board computer, so you want to take a look at what other ones.
Yeah, what
the Pi 4 has not mini. What's the other one? Micro.
It's micro.
Yeah.
And then the
But this one's mini?
no, this one's full size.
Okay, yeah, so like I said, definitely check
Mhm.
which one you're working on.
And then we got links to like the ancillary stuff, like the screws over on Albany Fasteners. They got some nice flathead metal screws. I think there was one thing I forgot. If you scroll up to the parts list, oh, there's the monitor that we were talking about.
Cool.
Nice size.
Yeah.
And
IPS.
the keyboard. Very nice keyboard.
Yeah.
How
Raspberry
types.
Pis are still out of stock, but you can sign up to get notified when they're back in stock.
Sometimes there's surprise restocking of the Pi, so definitely sign up for the notify or just keep one of those tabs open and refresh.
Or subscribe to
Daily.
one of the Pi things on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Pi bots or something. Pies, I forget their name.
Mm-hmm.
But folks who are in the know probably know.
Jump on over to the 3D printing page. I think the most notable thing here is the layer height. For printing such a big box, printing at 0.25 layer height, you don't need a super detailed.
Yeah, you can do some chunky
resolution.
layers. So
If you have like a 0.6 millimeter nozzle, even better. It'll work.
Cool.
Because it takes about 6 hours to print, I believe, just the lid.
when you're 3D printing something with like thin walls and only perimeters, one of the tips here is to use a brim in your slicer that adds extra filament to the first layer so that you have nice bed adhesion.
In this case, it's about a 2 millimeter thick wall, so it's mostly to keep the lid nice and straight, so you're not having any like lifting of the corners. So that's what the brim is for in this case.
Well, for the framing is what
Same
we're
thing,
talking
yeah,
about,
same
right?
thing.
Oh, okay. So you
I do have
recommend
a brim on
on
that
on this guy too?
Oh yeah, both of them.
Because the lid's fully like touching the bed.
Yeah, but you can have corners lift. I had to cancel a couple of prints because of that. So
Cool.
I definitely recommend the brim.
Okay. Brim's their helper here when you go to big parts.
Mhm.
Cool. Snap fit. Snaps.
Yep, they just line up and they snap into each other. That's pretty much it.
This is
Super
great.
simple little build. That is super utilitarian. Nice.
Very practical.
Very cool.
Lots of options for adding other things.
Mhm.
Maybe somebody's building a custom keyboard. You can integrate that into your
That's a good idea.
into your project. So if you want to do that.
Yeah, you got your ports on the back here. You're definitely going to need them for connecting your keyboard. And then one of the other things I forgot to mention, just lost it.
The battery
What
life
was
on
it?
this keyboard's probably going to run
It's
a
gonna
couple,
it's gonna
few
be a while,
hours, so
yeah.
that's good. So you don't have to worry about charging it too much. It
Mhm.
has LED indicators to let you know when it needs to be charged and all that. So
Oh, I remember
pretty
now.
good.
Future version of this project, we will come back to this. Lamar wants to have the GPIO sticking out of here, just
that'd be
like
great.
the Pi 400, so we can add any
Cyberdeck.
expansion, especially the Cyberdeck is what she wants. So that's where I stopped. So I'll have the GPIO port on there. You can see what it looks like on this one. We have the Pi hat.
So
So we'll have something like this on there, and then we'll have built-in speakers on here. It should give us some nice subwoofer sounding bass with the enclosure.
folks have taken this apart, right?
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a custom PCB.
Right.
I think that's the other beauty of this one. You don't have to get any customization for it. It is, just whatever board you're able to get,
Mhm.
whether it be whatever Raspberry Pi sized. Single board Linux computer should work with a couple of modifications in the CAD file.
I always put this in wrong.
Yeah.
Why
me
do
too.
they allow it to be put in wrong?
I know it's not keyed, is it?
No, it's
Oh, it
keyed,
is.
but like I don't know how it's offsetted so much. All right. Well, anyway,
The
while
key
I-
doesn't stop it.
Yeah, it was off by 1 pin.
This says yes, could definitely be used for a Cyberdeck base. Yes, I was in the middle of adding that in and I ran out of time. It took quite a while to print.
Quite a while. How long?
Yeah.
How many hours? How many days?
All week.
All week. No, it didn't take all week to print. You print one of them in like 12 hours?
So you don't get it right the first 6
No,
12
people that are
times.
printing it are gonna get
Oh
it.
yeah.
Because your design's
Mhm.
free and
Yep.
out there.
Yeah, so about 6 hours a year. 6 hours. I mean, it only takes me 6 hours because I'm using 2 printers, but yeah, it'll take you about 12 hours to print the whole thing.
Cool. So get printing now.
Yeah.
Get some wood filament. Cool. Well, this is nice and practical. Pretty.
Yeah, nice and simple. That took quite a while to make. All right, cool. And yeah, I think that's all I got to pull out of this. I don't know how much
Okay.
I can extend it. It's pretty much a nice, simple little computer case.
I like that the keyboard can just come out. So when you need to get in there, it just pops right out.
Yeah. And then
No need to like secure it down or anything. It just rests on this ledge. Is there any support material required for the ledge? or anything?
no, all of these. I should have brought another one, but there's all 45-degree
Okay.
fillets. So there's fillets all along
yeah.
the edges along here. You can kind of see a little bit of
Cool.
overhang from the print right there.
Okay.
But everything is support free.
And you have a bit of an angle too to angle the keyboard, like 10 degrees or something, right?
It was like, I think it's 5 degrees. I
Alright.
forget, 8 degrees, whatever it is. But to maintain the way that this keyboard has these feet down here to sort of elevate it or have that angle,
Yeah.
replicate that on.
Yeah, that's great.
Too. I did try having it flat, and that did not feel good when you were working on there.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, that's all I
think
got.
that's it.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna mention?
Sign up for the Pi to get notified.
Oh, just how surprised I am at the wood filament. Usually it's like very brittle, and being able to print things like this, like I was for sure, I thought this
That's
would
gonna
rip
break.
right off, but no,
No, it's strong.
It was pretty strong.
So this is from Proto Pasta. They make they blend it with like HT PLA, so high temperature PLA. It's definitely a lot stronger. You can kind of anneal it too when you print it hotter. So that's where you're getting the durability from. So shout out to Proto Pasta for making good filament.
Yeah, like you said, it's the high temperature, whatever additives make it nice and strong.
It's a little bit more pricey, but they do really good things. It's a great blend of PLA, and
And it's only 500 grams too.
I
Which
feel-
is why I ran out.
I feel good throwing away their spools because they're made out of cardboard.
We put it in the recycling.
Right, that's what I meant. I put it, yeah, it's recycled.
If you have any problems printing these tabs, because again, I thought this would rip right off. Look how thin it is right there, but it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I would just delete this right here, so this rises up another 2 millimeters. So this entire thing
Oh,
is that height.
it should be fine though with regular PLA.
Oh
be
yeah,
good.
yeah. There's even,
Even
fillets
PET
on
G would be
here,
good.
just so that these walls are on there, like anchored in there.
Mhm.
Very nice.
Cool. I like the built-in
And fillets here.
standoffs. Yeah, built-in standoffs. They're that custom height, so they fit exactly how they need to.
And for usually when you're printing like vents like this small,
Sure,
some of the slicers have problems printing such thin walls. Definitely check out the new Cura 5.0. They have a really good job of printing thinner lines without having to mess with your extrusion width.
Nice. Very good.
I think that's all the tips and stuff that I can pull out of this project.
Yeah. What was the fan size? There's so many.
Oh, it's listed
30
in
millimeter or
Yeah, it's
something?
listed in the
Yeah, I think
It
it's a
is.
30 millimeter.
if you can program and stuff, I would definitely
Oh, the GPIO one.
get a fan with the GPIO so you can adjust that. I just disconnected it here so I'm not having this loud. You can kind of hear it there, especially when you like move it at a different angle. Does that?
Yeah, 30 millimeter fan. Oh, that the lawn was being mowed.
But that'll keep it nice and cool. Oh yeah,
Wow, that's loud.
yeah. That's why I disconnected it for the
Sounds like a leaf
segment.
blower. That's funny.
And yeah, I'm impressed with this OS. We're always messing with the Pi OS stuff, so it's pretty cool to see. There's more than one option for your like open source type OS. You can install to Template Windows. Yay!
Cool. All
Yeah,
right. Well, that's this week's project. If anybody had any questions, go ahead and drop them in the Discord chat room. Ooh, Pyromony Shim
Oh, I
fan
have one of
is a
those.
suggestion
Yeah.
by Liz.
Yeah, it's funny. We have a bunch of different fans, and this was the quickest one that I could stick in there without any additional help. Just stick it in, plug it in.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right.
Yeah, cool. Let's go ahead and jump into this week's. What are we prototyping? Another computer.
More Raspberry Pi stuff. So this is our prototyping project here. It's a Raspberry Pi. It's shaped more to be a sort of a media server. So what we were able to do was put the Pi in here in this like kind of PC tower case, and the cool thing is that we're using an SSD drive, a 2.5-inch SSD drive. We're using a SATA to USB 3 cable, so we have the full speed capabilities. And we have just a regular Pi-OS running, and we have installed the Plex app. It's basically a web user interface that runs on the Chromium browser, and it lets you stream things from Netflix, Hulu, all the streaming services. And Plex kind of has its own movies as well that you can stream for free, and you can sign up for an account for free using either your Google account, or you can create a new account. And this thing's got a bunch of different features. So again, we got the SSD drive here, so it works as a media server. You have access to all the ports here. We have our 1.9-inch TFT display running some GIFs, but we also have some code for displaying more practical things like the CPU temperature, the memory usage, and that sort of stuff. But there's JP as a Doom guy. I always love that. And we have 2 buttons up here. We're using our Stemma button PCBs. And we're able to switch between the GIFs here, running some code that Melissa wrote, Melissa on the Adafruit team. So this is just playing some GIFs, and you can use the buttons to switch between them, but you can program the buttons to do anything, like shut down or be an actual keyboard. And this is all running off of the CircuitPython Blinka wrapper that runs in the Raspberry Pi OS. I got a handle. My 3D printed handle is really nice, so you get this kind of fun PC tower format. I'm using I think it's a 30 or a 40 millimeter fan. This is a Noctua fan, but you can swap out this panel for any sort of arrangement. If you want a bigger fan or no fan, the idea is that this is modular, so you can just design or print out a different set of panels that kind of fit your needs. Maybe you want the buttons mounted here. Another feature, I have a micro SD card extender so that you can access the micro SD card. And we sell these extenders that are really nice, so it just gives you some extra room. I have lots of kind of grills. So this is a massive grill here for ventilation, so it's very, very nice and cool. And then I have this dedicated bracket that's designed to fit these 2.5-inch SSD drives. They all have similar mounting holes, so that's a really good thing. So whether you get it from Samsung or somebody else, it's gonna fit. And this one has side mounts, but you could have easily just mount this directly to the things. But I like the elevation here. I have some built-in standoffs there.
Nice airflow.
Yeah, and then there's another grill in there. You have access to all the ports on the Pi. This is a Pi 4, by the way, the Raspberry Pi 4. So you have your audio jack, 2 display ports, and USB-C for power. So this is plugged into the wall. Yeah, and the way this is oriented, the SATA to USB 3, it just plugs in there like that. And then with the latest Raspberry Pi OS, it just mounts, so you don't need any special commands to mount the SSD. It just mounts, which is awesome. Like before, a couple updates ago, you had to do some special commands just to mount an SSD drive, but these days it's plug and play. Same thing with the Plex media server. You just go to plex.com, download the zip file, install it, and it runs right on top of your existing Chromium, and it has all the things that necessary for doing live streaming. So the H.264 codec is like built into it, which is awesome. So I've been streaming the Plex media server off this guy, just testing it, and it's pretty good. It's really good.
Amazingly good.
Yeah,
like
so
you're saying, reiterating again, it's so much easier to do everything now.
Yeah,
Jeez.
you just kind of put it together, and that like really lets you focus on what do you want to do with it. Do you want to add buttons? Do you want to have your TFT display? All that fun stuff. Let me give me a moment to switch
that point again about how easier things are. We have to actually go back to some of our guides and deprecate them, because it's like take the Octopi rig one. We have like this whole giant guide on it. We don't even need any of that. You just burn it with the OS already on there.
Yeah, so this is CircuitPython code here running on the Raspberry Pi. It's using the Blinka wrapper. So here you can display the IP address, the temperature of the CPU, and some fun stuff like disk usage and the memory that's being used up.
Oh, cool.
So if you're doing like a pie hole type project, this would work well for this display.
Yeah.
And it's a color display, so you're able to do all sorts of colors, graphics, and custom fonts. This is a custom font, and it's all thanks to the power of the display, a library for CircuitPython. So I was able to whip this out pretty quick. And it's fun to write the CircuitPython code because it's really easy to do it and kind of copy and paste code from other projects. But yeah, this is a very, very nice display. That's the 1.9-inch TFT. It's the ST7789 chipset.
Really cool.
Pretty cool. So when you plug this into your monitor, it displays the Plex media server in Chromium. You can do whatever, so that's really cool.
Nice.
Buttons don't do anything for this code, but they do for the GIF code. And the handle. I love that handle. I'm trying to integrate more handles into our project. So Raspberry Pi, all the things. We know they're hard to get, but if you got one, maybe it's time to make a cool project with your Raspberry Pi. Look at that GIF. It's so lovely.
Look how all the GIFs play back on there.
Look at that purple. So nice.
Look how high resolution it is.
Yeah, it's an IPS display. 320 by 170 pixels.
Going back through some of the comments in the Discord. DJ Devin.
I want to play Real Doom on here.
Liking the wood filament. A couple of suggestions for the Pyromony Fanshin.
Yeah.
I think you tried using it on that one. Right?
Yeah, there's plenty of room in there for that. I just thought it'd be nice to have the fan on the side. Yeah. It's cool as I can see the CPU temperature right on the thing. That's a really nice feature.
Yeah. DJ Devin, heat inserts, do they work on wood PLA? Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I did not use them.
I'm using them in this project for these things here. But I'm thinking it'd be better to have magnets. But I think I'm going to leave the heat set because the magnets would be nice to pop this out if you need to get in there.
Although it's kind of scary having it close to the SSD. Or is that a problem?
I don't think
with
so.
Magnets in SSD?
I don't think. Maybe it is, but maybe not. Maybe screws are fine, so we'll probably leave the screws.
And Hem is asking about the... Yep, we're using the Noctua fan in that one. I think we only had one left, right?
Yeah. What one?
One of the Noctua fans.
Yeah, I bought this one specially for this project. It's a 30 or 40 millimeter fan. I forget which one. But yeah, they're great fans. This one has the 3 wires, but I don't know. I gotta check what's going on. I can't get the GPIO to like turn it off and on when it gets really hot. So I'll have to check that out. Cool. So that's not next week, but the week after.
Yeah, we'll
next.
take a look at what's going on next week. Next segment, just going through these comments. Malhorand Emperor is saying that it's about the display. There's an issue with the display. I don't know which one. Is it this one or that one?
Yeah, post up on the Adafruit
That
forums.
screen seems to have issues.
Which screen?
Is
Probably
it like
this one.
flickering? Or are you talking about that one with the speaker?
Yeah, I don't know. This one's an IPS display, so you get some pretty good viewing angles, which is always great.
Oh, maybe use Stemma fan controller, says Liz. That's a good idea.
Yeah, this, an I2C thing? Maybe. Well, that might work. I didn't know fans could... Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there's options, so that's good.
Cool. Let's take a look at the other thing that we're prototyping. It's really looking at update for a very awesome I/O service. And what a perfect timing. I just saw a news article saying that Google Cloud is going to be shutting down their IoT service. Oh. How funny.
Well, Adafruit I/O is...
Google can't figure out IoT. I'm glad Adafruit's here to guide you in the proper direction of how to use it.
You get, for free account members, you get up to 2 devices, which is really a lot of things you can do. 2 different IoT devices. But you can plug in just about any type of sensor that's I2C. So tell us about your dashboard and how you're finding the new whippersnapper.
Okay, so after I was done with the project, I was looking at sort of doing some sort of temperature control to my bathroom. I added some really fancy Anthurium War Queen plants in there. And they're kind of fussy, they want to have humidity, but I don't want it to be too humid because, I don't want like mildew and mold growing in the bathroom. So I have a dehumidifier in there, and I've had it in there for, I think since we moved in, like all the rooms, like there's little pockets of corner where like humidity can build up. So I have like, I don't know, like I've lost count of how many dehumidifiers we have all over the house.
Definitely in the printing room.
Oh yeah, that's
keep our filament dry by keeping the room dry.
Every week I should post a video of the giant tank of all the water that it's pulling out of the air. So I want it to be like at 70% humidity, 70-60%, not at 100 or 90. So I'm just blindly been turning the dehumidifier on and just leaving it going.
Okay.
And I didn't know what it was at. I know there's probably humidifiers that like tell you the percentage.
This is how you can turn a dumb humidifier into a smart humidifier. Mm-hmm. So what are the pieces that you need?
I can't recall, did we have actions the last time we did the whippersnapper video? I'll have to look at it, but this time the action that it's going on, you can kind of see here, is that once the humidity gets up to 90 or above, it'll send a signal over to our power outlet that is connected to a Qt Py 32S2.
Yeah.
So it's taking the reading from the humidifier saying, okay, if this is over 90%, turn it on. Once it gets to or at 70% humidity, turn it off.
Yeah.
So we don't completely have no humidity in there for the plant.
Let me step back a bit and talk about the parts. So you mentioned the Qt Py ESP32S2. That's the main Wi-Fi chip. Mm-hmm. In order to get the humidifier to talk to that, you need something in the middle. So you have a smart, controllable outlet.
Yes.
So our outlets that we have, let me pull it up here.
Should have been more prepared on this.
Yeah. So this thing is awesome. Without this, you really wouldn't be able to make this work. Thankfully, we have this in stock, but this basically lets you tap in to the power safely, because it would be very dangerous to mess with the mains.
Yeah.
So what this lets you do is just give it a signal. So there's a little port here on the side that lets you plug this into any microcontroller. In this case, it's the Wi-Fi microcontroller, the Qt Py ESP32S2. And you have whippersnapper firmware running on that. So you literally plug it in, and you can just click on a couple things and add a sensor. So what sensor did you add? You added the
there we go.
AHT20.
Yeah.
This is awesome. There's no soldering required here because it's using stemma. So you plug this in with a cable to one of these ports, and on the back side of the Qt Py ESP32S2, it just plugs and plays. So you can plug in any I2C sensor, and whippersnapper, which is the firmware, just kind of lets you see it. So let's go to the device page in Adafruit.io. Here are all the devices that you can set up. When you plug a new device in, it automatically shows up, and you can install the firmware without having to download anything. It does everything in the UI now, which is amazing. So here you can see our Qt Py ESP2. It's online, and it tells us what the version of the firmware is. It's on beta 0.42. You can click on that.
Go back.
Sure. So this is my device
just
page.
Just to point out,
you can update
it right there.
I can do it right here.
Walk you through the steps.
It walks you through
Pictures,
this lovely
GIFs.
wizard. So you just walk through the wizard. You don't have to write any code. This is all just clicking around. So this is whippersnapper. This is kind of the latest, version of it. When you want to add a new component, there's this really nice big icon, a little plus sign, and here are all the available components. You have all these basic components, like, hey, there's our power switch, light sensor, but then scroll down here, these are all the I2C components, so that humidity, pressure, temperature, CO2, gas, all sorts of fun stuff, light sensors. All these are really, really great sensors. Yeah, Pedro's going to go grab it. So you kind of click around which one you want to add. Let's say you want to add this air quality sensor, and then you plug it in. If we had the device, we could just plug it in with the stemma port. It would show up, and right now it's telling you, well, it's not plugged in, so that's why I'm not able to get that plugged in, but that's how easy it is. So let's say we want to modify our existing one here. we can go to this is the AHT that we have plugged into it. And here's where you can tell it, hey, I want to get data from it every 15 minutes, every 30 seconds. You can you can modify that with a drop down. And because this has 2 different types of sensors on it, it's a temperature sensor and a humidity sensor, you have that option here. And you can update it, you can delete it. It's very easy to play around with it. So let's take a look at the overhead here. You can see our very simple setup.
So this one is using the CD41. It's just because we ran out of the ATs.
I'm going to switch to this wider lens. There you go.
And
I love that camera.
Yeah. So yeah, nice, super simple, tiny little circuit. I'm going to make a little box so it plugs right into the top there with the USB connector. So let's just plug in like that.
Yeah.
So mount like
you
that.
can have it powered by the wall adapter. You can just put a 5-volt USB-C kind of adapter, like a phone charger, and that thing's running off your mains. And then how did you wire up the outlet to this guy? Did you use just solder?
Yeah, it's just soldered into A0, and that plugs right into A0 and ground, and that plugs right into that little pigtail that you can attach on the outlet.
Okay. And then in here, you have this power switch, so you can turn it on and off here manually without having to, write any code. And you have the option here to tell what pin you said A0, so that's really good.
Let's get out of there. If you go to actions, you can see the settings for that.
Oh,
so
up here, actions,
and then you'll go into if it's either one of those, you can see what is
edit.
How this is going on.
Yeah.
So if it gets to less than or equal to 70% humidity, push a message to the power, and you can scroll down there. You can see all of the.
you have the LED turn on.
Yeah, you can do a couple of different things.
You can probably power up a NeoPixel display at some
point.
point.
A fan. You can You
can have sensors trigger other sensors.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. You can have a buzzer give you an audible note.
Oh, yeah.
And then here is like the 0 is
1
off.
or 0,
Yeah, 1 or 0 is on and off. And then how
to...
long? You want it every 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And then I like this right here. I should have checked this on.
Oh, do you get an email or something?
If it stops receiving any... like a connection, like if it dies or something.
Right.
In my case, it was plugged into a USB, and like it mounted the device and then unmounted it, so it turned it off somehow. So I have some missing data from this one, not the plant one. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool.
This is a different device, right?
Yeah, this is different from the one that we were looking at earlier. The one that's in the bathroom. I'm leaving that in there to get the graphs for the video.
I guess for next week. So this is gonna be next week's project. I was gonna plug it in and update the firmware and show you guys, we'll wait.
This one's already updated.
Oh.
Like I've already shot all the video for the boards updating.
Okay. Well, the ESP32S2 is becoming our favorite Wi-Fi chip because we love the RP2040, but man, this has some built-in Wi-Fi. It's ready to go. And we have CircuitPython libraries, and hey, maybe you don't want to write any code at all, and you can use Whippersnapper and Adafruit IO, which is free. So that's like the whole kind of thing about this, that having I2C with Whippersnapper is like basically every type of IoT project.
And on that point, I want to echo here what DJ Devin is saying. He's been gobbling up all of the sensors lately, mostly because they're supported in Whippersnapper. That's the exact thing that I've been doing. I have a couple in my cart that I don't have yet. Like I want the Lux sensor, so it's like, oh, maybe later down the line, if it gets too bright, it'll. And this is what Brent is working on after NeoPixel is going to be servo support.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
So if like the light intensity is too high, it'll run a servo to close the blinds.
I want to do a blind closing thing for sure. Something that just kind of keeps pulling on the blind.
Mm-hmm. So this is definitely one that
powerful servo.
As you can tell, definitely excited me having a temperature controlled bathroom to know exactly what the humidity is, because until now I've just been blindly like, it feels like it's whatever, but it turns out the whole time it was all at 50% humidity, which is like on the low end of what the plant wants. It needs to be a little bit more humid. So because I've just been leaving the dehumidifier on all night and day, and that's not good.
Cool. So it's a little look at next week's project.
Very useful.
If you want to check it out and you want to try out some IoT, definitely check out Adafruit IO and do all the things. For free plan, you can do up to 2 devices. You can always download your data if you ever need to, but it's great to kind of get a chart and create your own dashboard.
Yeah, like go
So
back
over to the
queen,
dashboard.
Go back to the queen tab.
Yeah,
You can
so-
see when I take a shower, how long I take a shower.
That is a really
for how
interesting way.
long.
Like, not just like, hey, I need to turn off, my humidifier when it reaches a certain percentage, but keeping track of how long you're taking a shower is a whole nother step.
Yeah, you can.
That's not a sensor, like how long I took a
No,
shower, but you can, since you're plotting the data automatically.
Say the water company is like, oh, you use this much. It's like, nah, bro. I have actual data here of when. Like when we have like a
that's
flow and flow sensor or something like that. Or I mean, this is pretty clear right here. You can see how long you showered for, how long the humidity stays for at what
How does it trickle
percentage.
down? Yeah.
The temperature that goes along with it, like you can see how much the temperature goes up. So it
Take
gives you
that
an
hot
idea.
shower.
I think the only thing I would like is like a converter from Celsius to Fahrenheit, because I got to keep typing in the the address bar.
Or
It'll
we
tell
could
you
just
right there.
learn Celsius.
Yeah, I'm getting
Our
there.
printers are all C. Like, the bed's
I'm getting there
50C.
because I keep typing
I
it
know
in,
what
so I'm
50C
remembering
is.
what what is what.
I know how hot 50C feels like because I have always touched the bed.
50C is
Not
off. That's off for me.
No, it's not. 50C is 122 Fahrenheit.
Oh,
What do you mean
what am I
that's
thinking?
off?
What am I thinking of then?
I don't know, but-
30. No, 20? 30. That's usually what we see on Octoprint, right, when it's
86.
off. 30, yeah, that's like room temperature.
86 degrees.
Here,
Fahrenheit.
anyway.
Yeah. But 60C is what I do in my
That's
bed.
what-
It's 140.
Yeah, that is on. I don't know what I was thinking of. But yeah, you're right. 30 is what we usually see when it's off.
Holy crap. It's going with Kelvins.
Oh yeah, people are liking the... Devin is liking the plant personal grooming.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
now I could put one in,
It's
we have plants
it's a
all
different
over, so I
approach
could-
than like the smart IoT planter, like the IoT planter.
There's
No, you
more
don't really
to
need that.
just
You
watering, because these...
I
you
like how
can't
your whole
water
environment,
these.
like the bathroom,
You
it's
can't-
closed off.
Some do not like to be watered every
Mm.
day,
Yeah, for
every
sure.
other day. They want to be
Like-
watered every 2
Like
weeks.
orchids, like
Yeah.
they hate water.
They will get root
They normally
rot
die because they
and-
get overwatered.
Mm-hmm. And these are like,
Remember we had an orchid and like we never
endangered
watered it, and it was
plants,
like the healthiest plant.
Talk about like the most awful feeling. You're like, oh no, I killed an endangered plant.
Oh no. So if you want to get some fancy plants, you gotta have some fancy sensors. Cool. Well,
And yeah, if you see any, like, I like how you go in there real quick and just arrange the layout. It works on your
Yeah.
iPhone or
let's
whatever
say I
mobile
want this
device.
to go
you
down
can-
here.
So you got some nice, I don't know, is this CSS3 or?
Jesus,
I don't know
I can
what
make
the-
this bigger.
I mean,
Save.
don't know. Ah!
Why? You can always change it back. See?
I wish there was like
Layout.
a preferred layout
Go like
to save.
this. Oh, like save your layout.
Uh-huh.
Hey, this is great UI work. So
No, this
shout
is
out
amazing. Are you
to
kidding?
Justin and team,
Mhm.
Lauren
You
and
can go
Brant.
more up. And you can edit this in your, you see how it says LG here? If you go onto your mobile device, it'll say XS, like super small. And you can still rearrange how you want it, because the CSS or whatever, it doesn't translate the same on a
There.
mobile browser, so you can re-edit that on your phone to make it fit all nice.
Yeah. Pull it up on your phone if you want to show
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
folks.
I mean, we'll be showing this off next week too. Here's what that looks like.
Yeah, renders
How
out really
freaking
great.
cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And you can access this data anywhere
Mm-hmm.
because it's IoT
Yep.
and it's secured.
Let's check out
There's
the
all your
UFO.
dashboards, so you can edit on the fly.
Yeah, so freaking cool. So cool.
Yay!
Lured another one of those outlets to do some more
Yeah, they're in
controlling.
stock, folks. These outlets are really what make this thing possible.
Oh my god, yeah.
So
Because
without
otherwise,
it, it'd be
it's
a
like,
little bit
okay, I
difficult.
can look at the humidity and go in there and turn it
It's
on.
the only
and off
outlet we
like a
sell.
chump.
Yeah, it's a great little outlet too. It's nice and compact. Comes with a little cable,
Mhm.
and this right here is really the money. It's got some mounting holes as well. So if you wanted to build in some sort of bracket for it, you can use that. Very well designed piece of kit. And here's an example of it, just turning a lamp on and off.
This is
So
what we were showing.
you don't have to
in
do
the
IoT,
first
but
one.
man, it's really nice when you turn anything into IoT now, without any code, with a little whippersnapper.
Oh, thanks for the plant recommendation, DJ Devin. I will look at getting some of these air plants, the Teladisia.
Cool.
Yeah, since we moved, I've been... and then we had that renovation that lasted like 2 years.
Yeah.
I've been not been able to get any plants.
Yeah, our backyard's looking really nice and green.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. More green projects.
Yep. Right now I'm stocking up on the succulents. Go back over to some more helianthras, and there's this really cool plant show that I'm going to.
You're going to a plant show?
Yeah, they have these really nice bunch of imports that they just got.
Did you buy tickets?
No, it's just an open house
Oh.
at a nursery.
Which nursery?
It's like a polka.
What? A polka? Yeah. I know a popka.
Popka, whatever.
Yeah.
They're coming in from, I think, Ecuador. A lot
Cool.
of nice anthuriums and alocasias and colocasias.
Ooh, Paul Cutler just said Brant Rubel will be on the podcast.
Oh my
next
God!
week,
Yes, I
talking
forgot to mention this.
Whippersnapper and
Yes.
IoT. So definitely tune into that one next week on the Circuit Python Show podcast. Thanks, Paul.
We gotta get that script over to
some
Brent.
inside scoop. Ooh.
Yeah,
I had no idea. Yeah, Brent's great.
Obviously, we're very giddy about this because anytime that I can
'cause
go in and build a whole project without needing any code help,
it gave you this whole other dimension of like, oh my God, I can like monitor so many things now.
Mm-hmm. Not just the plants. You can have it go the other way around. So if you wanted to, if you're in an area that doesn't have humidity, you can have your humidifier turn on. You can do it backwards.
Yeah, I wonder if you could do like sprinkler stuff, like turn on your sprinklers, do smart sprinklers.
Based on like, is it raining or something?
Something, yeah.
There's
or a self-watering plant, or a pet feeder.
Oh,
so many different
projects
projects
all over. Yeah, just walking around.
Yeah, they're great airplanes.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, I think that is it for what we prototyping.
Yeah, that's what we're prototyping, and a little bit of shop talk too as well.
All right. I don't think we have any community makes.
We kind of, what? In terms of community makes, I think we might need to. Here.
Oh, we need to mention again, even though it's.
I think I got this. Hold on. But yeah, talk about.
I think we talk about this every single week on the new boards that come out. Along with that, Noah goes in and does a 3D model of them inside of Fusion because he just imports the Eagle files that Lamar creates. You add all of the components to them. You can bring all those in, and one of the most important parts for me is getting all the mounting holes in there so you can model whatever case your heart desires. And every week you push these out. You take requests as well.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody who has been contributing. I've been pulling in some PRs from folks. So this week we have a couple of PRs. We have the 2.9-inch e-ink Featherwing. This was created by GitHub user 560. Shout out to them for committing and doing a PR for some 3D models. So this was brought in, I brought this in, and I'm going to keep maintaining the repo. So here's a really nice render and a GIF of the e-ink Featherwing. So I'm really excited to see folks contributing to the repo. And I'll try to feature this every week as parts get added by different people. And we are going to do a learn guide on how to contribute to the GitHub repo. So folks will know how to do it. So we'll do a video and a guide on that. I'm still trying to figure out GitHub's navigation. But yeah, I have 15 closed things. There's a power switch. This is exciting. This is something that I don't think I would have done. But again, 560 on GitHub
and
added
he did all of them.
All of these connectors, the magnetic connectors.
I'm sure this will come up in
even the magnetic feet. They're very solid renders. Here they are.
Wow.
They're all generated in Fusion 360, but also as a step file, so you can open it at any solid modeling program. So this is great. These are like all of them.
Dude, the metal or the copper or whatever.
Here's the actual. This is a lot of work, so I'm really, really excited to see.
Oh my god, yeah. Holy crap.
People
it's
adding.
Very detailed.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Just by browsing our GitHub repo, you can kind of figure out what the format is. Like we have the PID in front of the name of the product, and then a short description of the product. For example, this is the push button, and then you can add same name but just whatever format, Fusion 360 or STEP or STL. STLs actually generate here, so you can kind of move around and see the component. Nice. So that's always a nice thing as well. So that's this week's update on the Adafruit CAD parts repo on GitHub. If you are a GitHub user or if you're just getting started, definitely check it out if you're interested in some 3D models.
Have a nice full detailed how-to.
I got 644 stars.
Like 2 weeks from now.
Oh wait, I unstarted just now.
Whoops.
And 152 forks, 70 people are watching. Cool, I have to start like really, keeping my eye on the GitHub repo. But I am, and it's exciting to see activity in there. So I need to come up with like graphics and stuff for this thing. Like, I don't know. I'll come up with something. But thanks for everybody contributing. And check it out. You can see all the latest parts there. And that's Community Makes. How about that? Wow. Okay. Cool. On that front, every Tuesday we 3D print something from the community. And this week it's
a wooden frog.
It's a percussion
frog.
Percussive. Wow, look at all that wood.
That's what I thought this case was going to turn out like.
Yeah.
But it's because I'm doing the time lapse and the head moves out of the way.
Yeah.
It parks for
and it oozes out a little bit, so
yeah.
But you clean up very nicely. This is a great wooden frog.
It would have been nice if we had time to do like some staining and whatnot on it, because it is wood.
No supports, right?
Yeah, I forgot to put supports on the mouth.
Oh.
But look how the overhang came out.
How would you get the supports out?
With tweezers.
Oh.
You just go in there.
Love me some tweezers.
Hollow.
I'm waiting for the designer's name to show up again. I think it's Tanner. Something Tanner. Come on. It's coming. This was designed by Cody Tanner on Thingiverse, I believe.
Yes.
Thingiverse and Prusa. So shout out to Cody for a fantastic model. It's really, really great. On the overhead, we have a couple things. This is a little percussion frog that we purchased from Disney's Hollywood Studios at Galaxy's Edge. Does it say there? Copyright Disney?
Made in China.
Made in China. Yeah, so we were
wood.
wondering, like, how did they machine this? And it turns out it's actually 2 halves. You can see the seam right there. So I guess they CNC mill it, and then they glue both halves together. But we were interested that the sound is quite different on both of these builds. So go ahead and give us a demo.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound as hollow on this real wood one.
Much more tighter sound.
Like
Yeah.
there's
more
like
acoustics
yeah.
in here. So you get much more amplification, and this one's not as
you can hear a
amplified.
difference in the tone,
right.
This one all sounds the same.
There's a slight difference. But this is supposed to be like a space frog.
I mean, I'm comparing that.
But look at the eyes. They look great. And this is real wood. I don't know what kind of wood. But wood filament.
Yeah.
No supports, which is crazy. You got a
you
nice
can
flat bottom here.
You can see right here where the
where the overhang kind of
where the hangs were, but it looks super good. Like you were saying before, you can go in there and add any stains.
Yeah.
And
the details, if you want to modify it, do a low polygon version or something using Andrew Sink's thing.
Yeah, that would totally work.
Yeah, let me pull up the Thingiverse page for Cody Tanner. And let's take a look. This is it printed in a marble filament, which looks really cool as well. Oh, so you chopped off the handle.
Oh, yeah. I don't want it to print vertically. So
yeah, that's a smart idea. Look what Pedro did.
So if you print it flat like that, it'll make it a lot more stronger.
Seep it under the bed, right?
Yeah, because you're printing, horizontally instead of vertically. It's going to be way less.
Or print 2 halves and glue them together.
I should have done that. Dang it.
Hey, this is what we do the show for. Only in hindsight do you understand all the fun stuff. But very, very slick model. Quick summary here from Cody. This is a Percussion Frog, or a Guero I designed. I based the design off of a wooden one my grandpa has. The only part of the model that needs support is the mouth, and the rest of it, including the roof of the inside, can support itself. Since supports on the inside would be extremely difficult to remove, you need to use a slicer that lets you use block supports in certain areas of your print, like Cura or some other slicer. To make it sound good, print with a high infill. I use 90% and it sounds great. Update. I slice the model to the right size. You can print it at any size, but it's a good medium size. Very, very fun. These are so great. Shout out to Cody for a great design.
Yeah, kids love this. Especially since, so we had to take this away from the kids because they already broke it. The foot comes off, and you don't want that these little pieces to be everywhere.
Funny.
So I'm sure
It's
the
not...
eyes and all that comes out. This is just one piece.
That's
another
very strange.
Another
win
situation.
for 3D printing.
Yeah, where the toy you can print is better than the one you can buy.
Well,
for a kid anyway.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun to CNC mill one.
That's
some
real
wood.
That's some 3-axis.
They're gonna fight now. Space Frog versus I don't know. Cool.
Obviously, I think this one sounds better.
Yeah. And looks better in my opinion.
Yeah, almost has
Ribbit.
like a Aztec sort of feel.
Ribbit.
The flatness right
Yeah. Ribbit.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, that's this week's Community Makes. Good mix of prints and CAD stuff. Cool. All right, we're overtime. Look at that. It's 12:02. I'm starving. Cool.
Crap,
well,
we getting order food. All right, we gotta go.
Yeah, that's fun. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. This has been 3D Hangouts. We do the show every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
Don't forget Friday. Blam! I know I'm going out of order, but
Friday.
have to mention Circuit
Right.
Python
Circuit Python Day. Exciting live streams all day. Tonight, you can get a 10% off coupon code by hanging out and watching Ask an Engineer every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You get a full hour of open source hardware news from Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada. New products, INNPI, and lots of other secret bits and bobs.
I just checked adafruit.com/new to see what's going in the shop. Nothing yet. I'll keep checking.
Shoulder Frog.
Got another order to... Oh, that's a good idea.
Shoulder Frog. And then show and tells. Special show and tell tonight being hosted by Melissa.
Co-hosted by Liz as well.
Yeah, Liz will be co-hosting.
So we got some new hosts coming on.
And then we're gonna host next week. Ribbit. So that'll be fun. So we'll be there tonight. And we hope to see you there. Just hang out in the Discord chat room, and we'll throw the link in there. Frog saying goodbye. It's excited Frog. I think he has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, me too. Quick, come on.
Tomorrow is John Park's workshop every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Friday is Circuit Python Day. A special live stream from Tim, Foamy Guy as well.
That was a great time.
And then on the weekends from the Desk of Lady Ada on Sunday evenings.
Mm-hmm.
Mondays are, I got rid of that. Our Circuit Python meetings on Mondays.
I mean, this.
I updated
like
this.
Circuit Python meeting. That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, that's the newsletter.
All there.
Yeah. Tuesdays is Product Picks of the Week with JP. You can get up to 50% off select products. That's every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Lots of shows
during the show.
Live during the show. Only live during the show. And then we're wrapping back around to Wednesdays.
Woo-hoo.
And we're happy to be back. We'll be here next week. Until next week. Hope to see you tonight. But until next week, remember to make a great day. Frog.
See you later tonight, folks.
Bye.